Hey everyone, Mark Stutman here from Folkway. I'm working on a wartime Martin D18, and this is an ebony rod model. Obviously, I'm replacing the fretboard, among many other things. And it got me thinking about how light this neck is without the steel rod in it, and how that might affect tone. And, as compared to here's a 50s Martin neck with a T-bar. You can see what the T looks like in there. There's a lot of steel in that neck. And it adds a lot of mass to the neck, and it adds a lot of stiffness to the neck. And those two things have a pronounced effect on tone. Similar to the frets that we talked about in the last video, you increase the mass and stiffness of the neck of a guitar, and you get a similar sort of end result, maybe even more pronounced because it's much more significant. If you look at a Banner Gibson neck, here's a J45, Banner J45 neck. Not all banners have maple necks, but the maple neck banners are the ones that are the most bannery, if you can call it that. The maple is much stiffer than mahogany and denser, and between the size and the mass of the neck and the material that it's made out of, this adds up to having more volume and clarity and fundamental presence and punch and all those things that a Banner Gibson does that we really dig. So, if you compare the weight of this Banner neck to, here's just a 30s LOO neck, it's not quite as big as that neck in terms of its barrel. It's got a little less heel, but this neck is so much lighter. It must be 25, maybe 30% lighter than that Banner neck. They have the same truss rod, and then this one is just mahogany, and that one's maple. And this neck isn't 30% bigger in terms of its barrel size, but a lot of that difference is just in the maple over the mahogany, and the mahogany neck is going to sound different than a maple neck. When you go to the extreme and you look at these off-brand Gibsons, this is a Kalamazoo neck with no truss rod, no neck support, no nothing. This thing is like a feather. Calcroydon neck, same thing, total feather, and those necks have the warmth and sort of less sustain that you get when you remove mass from a neck. It's an interesting thing, and we don't talk about how the neck mass and stiffness and materials affect tone. We're worried about Adirondack spruce or Sitka spruce and Brazilian versus Indian rosewood, etc. I'd argue that the material that the neck is made out of is at least as important, and there's some examples of why.